My little 10 talk, we had someone else in here and they bailed, so I figured I'd fill in the spot, is buy their tools. So who is this person? Okay. Who's that? It's a mechanic, right? That makes you think of porn, GT? Oh, okay, okay. How about this one?
Same thing.
So, who uses these kind of tools other than in GT's fantasies? So these are tools policemen use. How about this one? Again, back to their playing doctor. I don't know if the person you're playing doctor with wants you to have scalpels, but based on your tools, tells you what kind of profession you're in, right? So what are your tools? What are the tools you currently use in your industry? You have stuff for layer 1, stuff for layer 2, stuff for physical things. So I decided to bring some of my tools and show you. Okay.
Here we go.
So this is a cool tool. So the cool thing about this tool is, whoa, wow, it's loud when you're in front of it. That when you're surveying, you get to use a mouse. Everybody who surveys, you have that little, either you have some crazy people use a little stick or the trackpad. But we're much better when we just use a mouse. The other nice thing is, while you're surveying, you can think, you can plan ahead, you can see what's going on. It's like having a little table with you, a desk, wherever you go. Better than that, I've been on, in fact, I was on a couple weeks ago, we did 22 miles inside of one hospital. They didn't let me use a Segway. It was just lots and lots of walking. On the other hand, you use a Segway, you still have to do the same 22 miles. The difference is, you don't have to walk. It's more stable and it's fast. So it's not just the Segway. Segway's cool. It's the Velcro. No. You need other tools like a tray so that you can put this around your neck and you don't have to hold the weight of your laptop the whole time when you go around. If you put both of them strapped around, it just sits there. Or you put your laptop in and you shut it, and when you're done, you can just carry your laptop away. You don't need the rest of the tools. So having tools that were designed for you is a cool thing. So part of the idea of this conference was, if you thought about it, and most of you were just thinking of swag, but in your bag is a full set of tools. We have layer 1 tools, we have layer 2 tools, we have APs that run on the cloud, we have a little BR that gives you a branch router for remote access that also has 3G capability. We have an AC AP. You have everything you need to go out and run the same set of tools. And in fact, one of the things that you had in there is one of these. And this didn't come by accident. This is like the 5th version of trying to find something that would hold the USBs, what I need, the way I need to use them. So you might have just looked at it and said, that's kind of cute, it has little holes. And it holds USBs. But what it really holds is a USB hub that Velcros to the side of it. That when you hook the USB hub up to a cable, you can put all of your NICs at the same time. A slot's big enough to hold a spectrum analyzer, or the new DBX that you got in there. So there's big slots for those. There's small slots for all the other pieces. It also holds the USB hub. It's also waterproof. And in the bottom is a little sleeve, a little teeny hole here. And if you open up, and designing this took a lot of talking with the people who manufacture them for me. It's a sleeve that you put in a popsicle stick that has magnets on it. So when you're doing outdoor GPS survey, you put it on the roof of your car and it sticks there. I must tell you, having tested this, use those, I can't pronounce them, the rare earth magnets. The rare earth magnets, because if you use ceramic ones and you get up over 30 miles an hour, this goes off the roof. And Metageek's very nice that if you send them back a broken, run over, at 60 miles an hour, they actually lived. It was the car running over them that caused the problem. So you have the tool, you have all the little tools inside because you are wireless LAN professionals. Your job is to go out there and solve problems, to do troubleshooting. Now hopefully they followed Gregor's advice and you did all the stuff up front so you don't have to troubleshoot. But when you do, you need to have the right tools. So here are some other tools that I like to carry with me. First one, and I know it's silly, but I use this more than any other tool I have. I have Air Magnet, Ekahau, OmniP, I have all the expensive ones, and I use this. It's all a matter of scale. Why I use this is you turn it on, you count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and you have data. It's collecting data right away. You can get an answer very quickly. So if I was a vendor, I would be thinking of how do I replace this with something else. Anyway, great tool. If you're in this business and you don't have one, you should. Its secondary partner that goes along with this is, you notice I put wired, 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 wireless, wired, wireless. We're wireless folks. And like Fernay showed, we're still wired folks. We need to know how the wired side works. So this checks the RF side. I carry another one, it's upstairs, as a link runner, where I can plug into the wired side and make sure before I attach the AP, is the wired network doing what it's supposed to do? If it's not, don't waste your time putting the AP on. And one of the things I've tried to do with my customers, I'll train the installers for putting the APs up to test the cable before they put the AP on. Because once they put the AP on, amazingly, whatever's wrong is a wireless problem, right? If the DHCP server isn't working, it's a wireless problem because the client can't get on and he's attaching wirelessly, and so you do this huge troubleshooting, backing your way down to find, what? The DHCP's putting with scope or on the wrong VLAN, and yet the Wi-Fi is working properly, but you got blamed. So the wired side helps you solve problems earlier. There's some other little tools that are kind of silly, but come in very handy. And my wife thinks I have a fetish for flashlights. But I like flashlights because they show light. They make the dark light. So you can get some pretty cool bright ones that even work in the daytime. And this one even fits in your pocket and is TSA approved. And then sometimes you're doing, for Chuck LPV, large public venues, they won't fire up the entire venue light system for you. I was at one where they said, we'll turn it on, but it's $1,200. It cost them $1,200 to turn on all their lights. I said, well, we're only going to be in there for like half hour. It's $1,200. What if we run them all day? $1,205. It's there. So you can get lights that are, what's the difference between these two? Not to mention, they're really good when you're showing off the difference in directional antennas. When you're trying to show the focus, you can still see the focus even inside the other one. It's brighter. And there's times you need a really tight beam and there's times you need to see a lot of stuff. So tools that let you see where you couldn't see before. Part of RF is we can't see it, so we use spectrum analyzers to help our eyes. Sometimes we actually just need visible light. Sometimes you need a different kind of light, like this. This one's kind of bright. I have a son who's a master's student, and over Christmas he came home and saw this and blinded himself from about this far away. And then about an hour later he goes, Dad, I can't see out of this eye. And yeah, it's permanent. He's got a gray spot in his eye. I went, what made you think to look in it? I was just wondering how bright it was. Well, I can tell you, it's really bright. I think in New Zealand I'd be in jail or something. They don't like these. But what this is really good for is you're shooting point to point. I can go from my house and I can put it on the side of a mountain that's 7 miles away and see the dot on the mountain. So for point to points, it's great. Just don't hit the people in the eye. Well, at least from this far away, I don't know. Anybody want to try it? It is bright. I just, wanted to let you try it. Some other, what was that? Shoot who? Some other things that are really useful to carry around. You might think I like fluke yellow. You're right, I do like fluke yellow. This little rangefinder is kind of a higher end one of theirs. You can get them that are cheaper than this. This one will shoot up to a little over 100 meters, 120, and with a 1/16 of an inch accuracy. You probably don't need that for your surveys. But you do need to, in your surveys, get really accurate results. Just don't go and say, hey, that doorway is 3 feet. Well, what if it's 3'2"? Well, that's not much. But now your entire building is, 7% off, which may or may not make a difference. So these are great for indoor, short shots. This one I love. Had it for a couple years now. It's a Bushnell Scout. It's made for archery. The reason it's made for archery is when you shoot it, and it'll go out to a little over 1,000 meters. You can get it to tell you what the angle is so you can shoot the archery, aim higher to go that far. The really good part for what I use it for is you shoot the bottom of a building, you shoot the top of the building, it tells you the angle, and if you understand math or you use Martin's app, you can probably figure out the height of the building with it. But it's great for outdoors, and it can work indoors. It's just, well, the good part about it is it goes out to 1 degree. So you can aim at an actual pillar 1,000 yards away and get the distance to that. So getting the right tools. Now, if I laid these out on the table, no one would say, you're a surgeon, you're a mechanic, you're a Wi-Fi guy. They don't look like Wi-Fi tools. Another tool, which doesn't look like a Wi-Fi tool because it's not, is this little guy. I think I paid $7 for him. It's for, I forget what the official name is. But anyway, it's for physical therapists when you have to move your knee. They want to see how far it goes. And then as you work, you'll get a better improvement for range of motion. Hey, that's a range of motion, ROM, another one from Chuck's this morning. But the good part about it is you can also see what angles are for antennas. You got a 30-degree antenna, 45-degree antenna. You just hold it by your eye. That's a lot cheaper than all sorts of other ways you can go about doing it. And I had a project that we needed 30-degree antennas for, and I was trying to go around holding this, doing this back and forth, trying to see what the target was on the ground. So I made a very expensive one out of paper. And I posted a blog, and you can download this for free. You print it out, you cut them out, and I can now tell you right where 30 degrees is going to go. Oh, come on. I was at a site with a bunch of other guys from professional services from another vendor, and they were out there trying all these magic things. I said, you mean like this? And they're like, that's beautiful. Can I have one? And you can use it to hold your popcorn too. Yeah. But there's times when I don't need all of the heavy math. I don't need all the angles. I just need to be up there and say, if I put this here, where's it going to show error? And we know from looking at Smith charts for antennas, they have the 3 dB down 30 degrees, but they also have an issue out to maybe 60 degrees. It's 10 dB down, which tells me, yeah, 3 dB down 30 degrees is going to be a good strong signal. But I'm going to have interference over here. So you just flatten it out, and now I have a 60 dB, a 60 degree. So it was 30, it's now 60. I have them for 120s, 90s. They're cheap. They're made of paper. You can print them off, and they help you in you doing your point-to-point designs or in doing your outdoor designs with just a simple piece of paper. So, you're Wi-Fi professionals. That's what you do. What tools do you carry that help you reflect what you do? They don't have to be expensive segways. By the way, anybody want to talk to segways, I'll talk to you about it later. The tray is custom built. The Segway itself paid for itself in under a week. It makes me tons of money now. I don't know if you can convince your boss of that, but since I have my own company, it didn't take much to convince me. But the actual dollars that came from it have multiplied many, many times. Tray, custom designed. Anybody wants them? We make them. They're good to carry and wrap around. So, what are your tools? I'm out. Peter's up.